You know, you can't always choose the circumstances under which you pursue your dreams. I wouldn't have chosen to do it in the middle of a worldwide pandemic and economic meltdown, but that was the hand that I was dealt. I just bought this building. It used to be a church. It's not real pretty, but I'm going to put some lipstick on this pig and make it my own and take it from souls to sawdust. Come on in, I'll show you around. This lobby will be converted into a small retail shop. It's not real big in here, but on the other side of this wall is a small classroom. So I think eventually I'll probably open that up and have a little bit more retail space. Now, having a retail store is not really what torques me up a lot, but I have to do it because of the zoning on this building. So if I have to do it, I want to try to embrace it and do it in a good way. Now, what am I going to sell in here? Well, obviously I'll sell some of the doodads and knickknacks that I make, but I'd have a hard time keeping this full of stuff that I make. So what I hope will happen is that there'll be products and items in here that are made by you. I think it would be really cool if I could say the stuff in this retail shop was made by creators all over the world. Creators who watch me on YouTube and other fellow content creators. I think that'd be really awesome. So that's one of the things that I want to do in this retail space. The second thing that I want to do, and I'm really excited about this, is I'm going to have some hardwood lumber and some slabs in here. Nathan from Out of the Woods Forestry, we're going to put some of his stuff in here. And I'm really excited about that because almost anywhere you go, getting access to good hardwood lumber and slabs is kind of tough. So I want to have that in here. The last thing that I want to do is have a small curated line of products that I recommend and that I use. I'm not going to have a full woodworking store, but I'm going to have a narrow curated line of things that I use every day and things that I can feel good about recommending. I know everyone wants to see what will become the shop, so I'll save the tour down this hallway for last. But before we go in, I want to point out something that's hanging on the wall back here. And this says, this shop was made possible by the following friends. And it's a big list of names. Many of you know that I did a fundraiser to help me raise some money so that I could have this dream. And eventually, I'm going to make that into a really, really nice and reverent sign so that I never forget everyone who helped me so much to be able to have this and gave me the confidence and inspiration and encouragement to do it. More names will appear on this. I'm going to leave the fundraiser open because I've got a lot to do on a limited amount of money, but I've also had a number of people who have offered to help me with sweat equity, so those names will eventually appear on that. But what I can tell you is if your name appears on this list and on that sign, or if it appears in the future, you have a key to this shop whenever you need it. Let's go check it out. This area here used to be the sanctuary of this church, and this is what's going to become the shop. The lighting is pretty bad in here. That's one of the first things that I need to address. I need to take this stage out, and the flooring in here needs to come up. But this area, even though it's chopped up quite a bit, and I'll show you why in a minute, this area represents about 2,500 square feet. And that will be a dream for me, going from 900 square feet at the command center to this. Now what's going to happen along this wall in the back where the stage is, that'll probably be like the chop station, and to the right of it, right here, is where the CNC router will be. And in this area here, I'll finally have a place where I can put my table saw and have, you know, a really nice outfeed table. Planer and jointer, I don't know exactly where, but strategically located near the table saw. On this wall here, what's there? Probably the bandsaw and the screw pocket machine. Maybe the dust collection. I haven't worked out the dust collection. I probably need some help with that. But that's kind of where that will be. Now over here, behind this thing that they left, which they left a lot of junk in here for me to deal with, but behind this thing, and I'll walk you over here in a minute, but now we're going to go into like some of the, I don't do a whole lot of metal stuff or a whole lot of welding, but I do some with the signs and stuff that I make. So this will be kind of like the small little metal area. And behind this screen right here, once I get that thrown away, will be the CNC plasma cutter. I'll have some welders set up back here, probably a welding table, drill press, horizontal bandsaw, all those kinds of things. So that is kind of how generally this shop area is going to be laid out. Let me walk you through. If history tells a lesson with me, this space will fill up pretty fast. This kitchen area will transform a little bit too, because I don't really need a kitchen. I do really like this sink back here, that'll stay. But do I need all these cabinets? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. Probably don't need this vanity, because this is going to be a tool room, and I'll have my toolboxes, and a lot of my tools will be stored in here and there. There's 2 refrigerators. I don't need both of those, but lots of room to put tools and have a tool room and a break room. Let's go back up to the front and I'll show you the rest of the building. This is the small classroom that I'm probably going to open up to have more retail space. I've got a little bit of water damage over by that window, and right here I'm going to have to deal with, but I think this will eventually become a little more retail space. This small room used to be a nursery. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it might be a good space to provide to a local artisan who's trying to get started. Someone like a leather worker or a jewelry maker, or someone that doesn't have a lot of stuff that they need to spread out. Come on into my office. This will be my office, and the church left this desk behind, which was pretty cool. I'm not crazy about the wallpaper, but I will have a nice place to do some of the office type work that I do. There's a bathroom on the other side of this wall, and there's a door that walks directly out into the parking lot. The last thing I want to show you is outside behind the building and all the space that I have back there, so let's go check it out. The building sits on 1 acre of land, and it goes all the way up in the woods to the top of the hill. But what I'm really excited about is this area back here that's flat, this green space. I'd like to develop some kind of weekend artisan market where people can set their booth up. I've got all this room right here. I've got a huge parking lot. So I'd like to grow that into something really cool. And with that, I conclude this tour of what will become the new Redneck DIY shop. I can't tell you how grateful I am to have been given this opportunity. If you'd like to be a part of it, I'll have information in the video description below. Stay tuned for future episodes as I transform this building from souls to sawdust. But for now, I've got a lot of work to do. I better get started.